Every time you do not follow your word, your respect gets lost by others and by yourself. Keeping your word is not just about being reliable. It's about building trust and respect, both with yourself and with others. Each time you break your promise to yourself or someone else, it chips away at that trust. We all know the feeling of those settling intentions, and that when we don't follow through on it, it not only impacts our self respect that we have of ourselves, but also affects the way other people see us. This is something that I've been actively trying to work on, and some methods that I'm trying to actively use that hopefully will work for you as well on keeping your own word, keeping your own promise. And I'll tell you firsthand that when I lost respect for myself was the darkest period of my life because I wasn't following my word. When I started following my word, when I said, I'm going to do this no matter what, no matter how much it sucks, I'm going to do this. And I did it, my confidence, like everything shot up. And as a byproduct, I started respecting myself more and other people started respecting me more. Those promises that you break erode your self respect. Each time you don't follow through, you enforce that belief that any commitment you have don't really matter. It doesn't really affect you. When you respect your own word, you build that inner confidence and your trust into meeting those goals that you have. And when you follow through, it builds that accountability and discipline. Honoring your word takes time and it strengthens over time as you continue to honor your word. And when you make honor your word on the smaller commitments, it's easier to honor your word on the bigger commitments. Those commitments and promises on small promises build a foundation for those bigger commitments. And one key thing that you need to realize is that talk is cheap in this world. Everyone is saying something. People only measure you by your actions, not by your intentions. It's a harsh reality. You can have all the best intentions in the world, but whatever you action you display, that's all people are going to take. They judge reliability based on what you do, not what you'll say you'll do. Following through on commitment shows that others can depend on you, which in turn relationships start to strengthen and you build trust. Each unkept promise creates doubt in others and your own mind. When you repeatedly don't deliver, others will start questioning if you can even deliver at all. And that thus hinders your reliability and commitment. Maintaining trust requires consistency. One unkept promise can make another person second guess your actual intentions, your actual capabilities. Consistency builds long-term respect if you keep your word. I'll tell you firsthand, when I was in my last relationship, I wasn't really consistent. Certain events happened in my relationship and I started taking a downturn. I said I'd put down the weed. I never put down the weed. I said I'd go back to the gym. I never went back to the gym. I was very lax with it. I would tell that person, oh, I would, spend more time with them. I would focus on them. But in reality, I was just craving into my other addictions. I didn't keep my own word. And thus I lost the respect of the other person. I have no one else to blame but myself. No matter what the other circumstances of the other person did, I can only control my actions. I can only control my word. And I did not follow through on my word, and thus losing respect of others and of myself. When I started to keep my promises after our relationship, it reinforced this sense of integrity that I felt like I was missing. I felt like I was so lost in that relationship, but when I got out and I started really taking care of myself and following through with the things I said I was going to follow through with, I knew that I could rely on myself. And when you have that self-assurance, it positively affects any new goals, capabilities, any sort of relationships that you do eventually have in the future. It helps you set realistic boundaries. And when you set those healthy boundaries, it creates better relationships for you and the other person. And the last thing you want when you break a word is to leave with a negative reputation. That some person is not reliable. This person can't deliver. This person doesn't follow through what he says or she says. You don't want that. And I'm telling you, it's not worth it. And when you keep your word, others will start inspiring themselves to do the same because you're doing it. Lead by example. Lead by action. It encourages integrity around the people around you and thus creating a better environment for everyone. So every time you follow your own word, you build more self-respect. And to get things done in this world, to become successful like the person who I'm almost assuming is watching this video wants to be, you need to start keeping your word. Every little thing, keep your word. And if you can't keep it, don't say it. You got it.